King of the Road.
Thanks for watching the King of the Road show. I'm Jim King. During the next half hour, we'll be looking in the rear view of the King's Caddy at some of our recent adventures, including a look at Orange's showdown on the Sabine tunnel and tri-hole boat races. We'll also air exclusive footage from the recent Journey concert at Beaumont's Ford Pavilion. And if time permits, we'll also throw in some of King of the Road's best clips for good measure. First, I'll introduce you to a fascinating San Antonio woman by the name of Sarah Reveley. Sixth-generation Texan and recent commercial design retiree, Sarah Reveley is on a mission to preserve pieces of her home state's history. Reveley stopped in Beaumont last week on her Texas tour of over 1,000 granite markers, statues, and museums that were erected during the 1920s and 30s to commemorate the Lone Star State's 1936 centennial celebration. Southeast Texas has several of the monuments. By the time Reveley arrived in Beaumont, she had already visited and documented over 80% of the aging historical stones. Ride shotgun with me as we cruise to downtown Beaumont for a visit with Sarah Reveley.
One man has the power to take you behind the scenes. Jim King of the Road.
Jim King of the Road.
Back in 1936, the state of Texas decided to hold a centennial celebration. And like everything else Texas does, it was the biggest and best celebration of a centennial the world had ever seen. The exposition was held in Dallas, but the celebration itself involved another exposition in Fort Worth and statewide celebrations, including construction of 9 memorial museums, 5 community centers, 16 restorations of historical structures, 2 park improvements, 20 statues of important Texans, and over 1,000 historical markers, grave markers, and highway markers. Almost all of these monuments and structures are still around, but many are neglected and in need of repair. Of course, that takes money, and that's where Sarah Reveley comes in.
This is a little different for the King of the Road show, but we're not opposed to doing things that are a little bit different. You've heard of tree huggers? Well, this lady I'm sitting next to here, Sarah Reveley from San Antonio, Texas, is a granite hugger. Can I call you that?
Yes, you can call me a granite
Because
hugger.
in 1936, the state of Texas put maybe 1,000 of these granite markers that we have an example of one, an example right behind us here from Noah Tevis. So you've seen 80% of them?
Yes, 800 of them.
Wow.
It's getting, I'm getting drenched in Texas history and granite hugging.
You are on a mission.
Yes.
And you've seen some that, this one's in pretty good shape, but you've seen some
Yes.
that need some repair,
Yes.
a lot of them.
Yes.
Because nothing's been done since they were erected in 1936,
Right.
and that was to mark the centennial of
Right.
Texas. Okay.
Right. And I started getting mad when I started seeing all the damaged ones and neglected ones and shotguns and graffiti and the bronze missing, and I started complaining and no one would listen until finally a gentleman named Bob Brinkman with the Texas Historic Commission was honest and true, and he said, well, Sarah, it's just that we don't have any manpower or money. And it's, oh, okay. And because these were put up before the Texas Historic Commission was ever initiated. And the Centennial Commission just shut down a year after the Centennial because they felt like these were, here forever. Didn't realize we had, people that would abuse them.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get people to understand that these 20% of these things are neglected and we need to repair them. And the state of Texas is saying they have no money. So I'm trying to raise the money.
And Reveley, a sixth-generation Texan and recent commercial design retiree, is helping raise the money by visiting as many centennial monuments as she can and photographing and documenting them. On her tour of Texas, she also gives lectures on the topic, which she did that evening at Beaumont's McFadden Wardhouse Visitor Center.
I wandered across this book on the internet and was floored at the scope of the centennial. I guess I could pass it around. This is the real thing. It's the book you see here on the side. It's called Monuments Commemorating the Centenary of Texas Independence. It was written in 1938, or published in 1938 by the Texas Centennial Commission. It contains all the items from the Centennial, and I was floored to see how many different kinds of things there are in there, not just these markers.
Oh, and by the way, Reveley is the owner of an extensive collection of Texas Centennial memorabilia. She displayed some of those items at her lecture in Beaumont.
I wandered across the book And Texas Escapes and I decided, Texas Escapes, by the way, is John and Kate in Fayetteville. And they've got a wonderful website. It's texasescapes.com. Y'all have to take a look at it. They retired and were just going to do this for fun, and now they work 200 hours a week. But anyway, they decided to have a page on the Texas Centennial, and I was going to do it for them. There's only 1,000 markers, 60 statues, 60 memorials, 20 statues, 10 museums, goes on and on and on. And that's one of the reasons my family calls me crazy.
How's that going? How's the fundraising coming?
Oh, it's lousy.
Yeah.
I mean, people are saying, well, why didn't the state of Texas take care of it? And I'm going, because they told me they didn't have any money.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to work from both sides. That they're potentially going to celebrate our 2011 175th anniversary by potentially repairing these, but they still need to find money to do it.
Again, we are downtown Beaumont. Obviously, we are in downtown Beaumont during rush hour, I think. I'm talking to Sarah Reveley. She's from San Antonio, and this lady's on a mission. She's going all over the state, checking on the status of these markers that were erected in 1936. And so far, what do you think about Beaumont? Are ours in fairly good shape?
Yours are in great shape. Yours are in great shape.
All right.
I'm very proud of you.
Beaumont.
And you could go down there and polish Dick Dowling a little bit, his statue. Y'all do have one of the 20 statues. Mm-hmm. And he's suffering a little. He doesn't have any pigeon excrement on him like a lot of them do, but he could stand a little, he's a little tarnished.
Took him a few years to get one if they put it up in 1936.
Yes. Yes.
Because that was a Civil War battle down there at Sabine Pass.
And but all in all, y'all should be very proud of the ones that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And the nice places they're put. And it's not always that way. You find them in some places where there's a junk pile in front of them. It's really sad. The city of Tyler tore theirs down. The monument to Davy Crockett, they tore theirs down and put the Rose Garden in. And the city of Corpus Christi should be ashamed of themselves because their memorial museum has been painted a terrible color, and the police academy's using it for kids to do boxing in or something, and they could care less. Other than that, the buildings are doing pretty well, but the Corpus Christi should be ashamed of themselves.
Well, I like your shirt, don't mess with Texas. They should put don't mess with Texas markers on there.
There you go, yeah. There you go.
Now, if we could just only get the birds to cooperate.
That's right, the birds. And the sprinklers. Some sprinklers have hit some of these, and especially around San Antonio in that area where they've got the limestone, and they've ruined the bronze, and they've made bad streaks. But yours is a nice patina to it.
It's only been 73 years.
And for the 75th, remember, we're going to have a little celebration. Oh, Beaumont needs to figure out what they're going to do.
It's King of the Road talking to Queen of the Road.
Queen of the Road.
Yeah.
Queen of the Granite.
Texas roads.
Hope you've enjoyed our visit with San Antonio's Sarah Reveley. For more information about her, or to find out how to make a donation to her centennial preservation activities, visit texasescapes.com. Coming up next, we'll look in the rear view at last weekend's Journey concert at Ford Pavilion.